Yo, what up? My name is Don, and today we're going to be checking out Drake's The Heart Part 6. This is the final song in the back and forth between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. This one came out on May 5th and is apparently the one where Drake kind of softened his attack or kind of went on the defensive a little bit. And I also took a look at some of the comments in the video, and Drake is getting absolutely ripped apart on this song. So I'll see what that's all about. But without further ado, let's hop in and check out the Drake's The Heart Part 6. There's that Aretha Franklin beat, that sample.
All right.
Here we go.
The Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped, I swear that I'm dialed in. First I was a rat, so where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in? 1090 Jake would've took all the walls down. The streets would've had me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal connects stand up, not fall down. The ones that you get and get stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with the desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. You gotta learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulator, you bid on a speculation. You dumb and reactive, nigga, I'm petty with dedication. What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months, the distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. Speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some disdirect shit, you rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit. My mom came over today and I was like, mother, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. Oh, fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with is so excessive. They acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't wanna dish you anymore. This really got me second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting. I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why that's the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly there's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed and now they got infected. Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how to ease the sentiment, the shit's too intimate. I'm praying you recover from both incidents, but you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list. Easy does it. You mentioned an A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Browns. I'd never look twice at no teenager. I'm a fucking hit maker, dawg, not a peacemaker. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass in extreme danger. Stop buying views and bot comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later. I give a fuck about your streaming data. You could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. I don't wanna fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. If you still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you sent him commissary when he needs some paper. Album dropping soon, no wonder you turn a clout chaser instead of doing hard labor. Nigga, I see you when I see you like Fantasia. Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor. And when I say I hit your back, it's a lot safer. I promise. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this shit was some good exercise. Like, it's good to get out, get the pen working. You would be a worthy competitor if I was really a predator and you weren't fucking lying to every blogger and editor, but it is what it is. You definitely got this shit burnt the fuck out though. Like, you got 10 more records to drop. The one before the last one, we finessed you into telling a story that doesn't even exist. And then you go and drop the West Coast one and try and cover that up. I would like that one. That would be some shit I could dance to if you wasn't tripling down on some whole other bullshit. But, you know, at least your fans are getting some raps out of you. I'm happy I can motivate you, bring you back to the game, like, you know, but just let me know when we're getting to the facts. Everything in my shit is facts. I'm waiting on you to return the favor, like.
Okay. um, right, because there's no lyrics on screen, I had to really focus in on listening to what he was saying during that. Um, we're gonna bring it back up. Obviously, we're gonna listen to it piece by piece, and you know, um, we're obviously gonna have the Genius lyrics up on the screen here. I think it was a good beat how they sampled the Aretha Franklin beat. I mean, almost obviously, I mean, it's an Aretha Franklin song. Like, how could you mess that up? You know what I'm saying? So let me just bring the lyrics up here. Um, so I can definitely tell uh I can understand the approach that Drake was going with in this song with trying to I guess downplay Kendrick's kind of plays at him, kind of Kendrick's attacks at him. Um Also a really big play on just uh how much he thought Kendrick was just telling lies, and how especially at the end he brought up everything in my shit is facts. I think that was the line specifically that he said, but he even starts out with saying this is literally the first two lines that I'm reading from the lyrics right now. Now let me see you prove it. Just let me see you prove it, right? Um song had good flow. I can appreciate the production. Um one of the things I this is more of a personal opinion rather than an objective opinion or whatever. I personally don't like Drake's voice. I just don't, right? And so it makes it hard to listen to his music if I don't like his voice. Like, and it's not just like a pick on specifically Drake thing or anything. I'm critical of vocalists. Period. It doesn't matter if it's metal or hip hop or this or that. It doesn't matter. You have to like what you're listening to. It would be just the same as being critical of um an instrument. Maybe there's an instrument sound that you just don't really like. Maybe it's a mandolin. Maybe it's a steel string guitar. Whatever it is. Maybe you just don't like the sound of certain things. To me, that's the same as a vocalist's voice. It is another instrument, is another part of the music, and it's a big part of the music. And often with bands that highlight the vocals more than anything, whether it's bands or something like hip hop, whether it's just a beat and the rapper or the singer, the vocalist, whatever. Um, the voice is such a big part. The vocals are such a big part of the direction of the song, and the flow and the energy of the song and the feel and the vibe of the song, and any other adjective I can throw in there to describe it. So, Drake's voice, I personally don't really like, but it wasn't bad in this one. Maybe it was just because he was more just rapping on a more chill vibe, like his voice was in a lower register or whatever. Um, so, anyways, that's just kind of my personal opinion on that. There were some things that kind of made me smile and or made me want to laugh in the context of just the back and forth. So we'll get into the genius lyrics and all the annotation that is included. This is a big one. This is going to be like an hour long. So let's without further ado, let's hop right in. Let's let the first bit play. Let's see the intro and just a bit of the first verse. Here we go. I really like the beat as it came in here. Hopefully this isn't too loud.
All right.
I like the kind of flow switch up here.
Is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped. I swear that I'm dialed in. First I was arrested, so where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in? 1090 Jake would've took all the walls down. The streets would've had me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal connects stand up, not fall down. The ones that you getting your stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with the desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information.
Okay. I'm not going to let it go into the next part because that first line of the next bit, we plotted for a week and we fed you the information. It goes into exactly like the whole. Okay. So, anyways, the first bit, the Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling, and I have to apologize now. I think my neighbor's getting ready to do fireworks, so if we hear fireworks, that's what that is. Or you hear anything, loud pops and bangs in the background or whatever, it's fireworks. Anyways, the Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. Kendrick Lamar won the 2018 Pulitzer Prize in Music for his 2017 album Damn. It's regarded as one of the most prestigious awards in journalism, literature, and musical composition in the United States. This line is direct reference to Kendrick's bar on Euphoria. The famous actor we once knew was looking paranoid and now is spiraling. Rick Ross also mentioned Kendrick's achievement on his Drake diss track, Champagne Moments. Pulitzer Prize winner switching up like dyed denim. Um, so yeah, the Pulitzer Prize once again. It's he won it for music. It's regarded as one of the most prestigious awards in journalism, literature, and or music composition in the United States. Got you. So he won the Pulitzer Prize for music. Got you in 2018. Or sorry, in 2017 for his album Damn. I haven't listened to it. What was I listening to in 2017? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm all over the place. Anyways, I got your fucking lines tapped. I swear that I'm dialed in. Um, Lines tapped refers to phone conversations being listened to by unauthorized parties, of course. I think most people know what that means. This is a response to Kendrick's claims that he has moles in OVO, suggesting that Drake also has sources in Kendrick's camp. Dialed in as a way to say you're dedicating all your focus on a single task. In this case, Drake is focused on the beef. It can also be a play on words as dial, as in what you do to make a phone call. It could also mean that he was in on the call, implying he was setting Kendrick Lamar up with a staged OVO rat to lead him on with false information. Kendrick Lamar ended up using this alleged misinformation in 616 in LA, saying that Drake had people who ratted out information using the information against him. Quote unquote, have you ever thought that OVO is working for me? Everyone inside your team was whispering that you deserve it. Can't Tuesday slide up out of this one. It's time that you look around on who's around you before you figure that you're not alone. Ask what Mike would do, as in Michael Jackson. And on Meet the Grams, mentioning he has another child, following the cover art from the mole that included alleged items from Drake's personal collection. Next, first I was a rat. So where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork or the cabinet it's filed in? 1090 Jake would have took all the walls down. I'm not sure who 1090 Jake is, so maybe I'll get some information on that in the annotation here. And the streets would have had me hiding out in a small town. Here Drake denies claims that he's ratted or testified to authorities in the past. There is a half-baked legitimacy to this claims. In 2009, Drake was robbed outside of New Ho King, a small Chinese restaurant and late night staple in Toronto. His cooperation with the police led to the arrest of fellow Toronto rapper by the name of Sizzlack. With the situation rippling into the Toronto rap scene, it led many of Drake's fans and peers to question his street credibility. Kendrick rehashed the conversation around these events by name dropping New Ho King and seemingly mocking Drake for being robbed in his diss track Euphoria. I bet New Ho King eating fried rice with a dip sauce and a blammy, Crody. Drake goes on to mention a well known media personality, 1090 Jake. Jake is notorious for researching court paperwork of popular rappers and street figures and uploading YouTube videos exposing them of dishonesty, cooperation with law enforcement, and criminal misconduct. Drake asserts that if he ever snitched, then his name would be found in court documents and an individual like 1090 Jake would have exposed him for it. Got you. Gotcha. Understand. Well, I can tell you, even as somebody who 2009 Drake was raped. That's a robbed. What did I say? Oh my god. Robbed. Oh my goodness. Drake was robbed outside of New Hoking. I was in Toronto around that time in college. I'm not sure if I was either at home or living in Toronto still, but I was definitely not listening to Drake at the time. I keep sometimes mixing his name up and saying Jake. His name for some reason just Drake. Okay, so anyways, um I wasn't listening to him at the time, and I don't know also who Sizzlack is. I still don't know to this day who Sizzlack is. Got to take my time with some of these names because they're sometimes tongue twisters when I go to say them fast. And I also don't know who 1090 Jake is. See, you know, some people want to like in the comments, and even like with between Kendrick Lamar and Drake, there's this like talk of like Drake being a culture vulture or he's stealing culture, stealing black culture specifically. I'm black, right? Call me light skin if you want, whatever. It's kind of weird to me, but I'm lighter skinned. That's a fact, right? But it's weird to like label somebody as that. Like I'm gonna walk around and call somebody, yeah, okay, dark skin, it's just, right? So, um, I'm Jamaican. That's my background, and I don't really understand. Uh, am I just gonna call it like US rap culture, or do I have to be more specific and be like US black rap culture? I really don't understand certain parts of it. I don't. Like I really just don't. Because honestly, it seems like parts of it are just rooted in having to have like things like, violence by way of like street credibility or by way of like it's just there are certain concepts about rap culture in general that I think are so, kind of lame. Like I'm about the music, not about, and it doesn't matter if it was rap or anything else. Like my opinions have been the same, and when you watch these videos, there's, I can be objective about the music, but they do talk about concepts that I do have very personal opinions on. So it's sometimes hard to speak on some of these lyrics without dipping a little bit into personal opinion. Um, you know what I mean? I just the you know front to back, I just want to say that like I enjoyed some of these songs for their musical context, but for the lyrical context in some of them, I kind of just shake my head and I'm like, okay, like I get it, but it's a lame concept to me. Not anything specific, just some of the things they talk about. Going on, uh, Drake says, "My Montreal connects stand up, now fall down. The ones that you're getting your stories from, they all clowns. I'm a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor, and decoration." We'll just go with those four lines. Drake suggests, so for the first line, my Montreal connects stand up, now fall down. Drake suggests that his connections, whether shooters or intelligence, can be mobilized or stand down at a moment's notice. He makes this commanding image more explicit a few bars later in the song, I'm a war general, seasoned in preparation. Specifically, Canada has significant Hells Angels presence. At the end of the music video for Drake's diss Family Matters, he meets with an alleged Hells Angels member, Andrew Kernu, who is Drake's neighbor. Gotcha. See, I don't know. Okay. The ones that you're getting your stories from, they all clowns. I mean, like everybody knows about the Hell's Angels up here. Like I'm not out here to make fun of any gangs. I just don't care to speak on the subject in general. Um, I just again, it comes back down to like this whole violence thing. Like, okay, so at what point is it not just some like bravado flex thing in a song, and at what point do people start getting hurt? Like, I don't know, man. I'm not about people dying. I'm not about people getting shot. I'm not about that. I don't care what the context is. I'm just not about that. And if people are gonna hate on me for that, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, okay, all right, whatever. Humanity. I'm like, this is why I stay to myself. Um, this is why I'm on like a J Cole vibe. I feel like I don't even know. I just stay to myself. I just don't even care at the end. Um, The ones that you're getting your stories from, they all clowns. Funnily enough, a few lines later, Drake says that they're the ones who fed Kendrick Lamar the made up information about a legitimate child. I'm a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor, and decoration. Here, Drake references both the fact that he is coming into this beef well prepared, and that he also has a proven record of victories in previous contests with other rappers. The preparation alludes to how Drake has purportedly planned traps that Kendrick has fallen into, most notably that someone in his camp has fed Kendrick false information about an 11-year-old daughter brought up on Lamar's Meet the Grams. They're starting the fireworks, by the way, if you can hear those. Dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father. This is a quote. Dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father not active inside your world. The medals Drake references symbolize previous battles he has won. The most well-known one being his 2015 beef with Meek Mill. That most onlookers acknowledge as a win for Drake. The Canadian rapper is wearing these medals proudly, indicating to Kendrick that he thinks he knows exactly how to come out on top in a battle between the two. Going on, um, and we're gonna let this play in the song because this is the whole. There's a whole chunk to this next part. So here we go. And it started with, I think we let it play already. You waited for this moment, overcome with the desperation and ongoing.
A daughter that's 11 years old, I
Oh,
bet he plotted
sorry.
for a week and then we fed you the information.
There we go.
A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. You gotta learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulator, you bid on a speculation. You dumb and reactive, nigga. I'm petty with dedication.
Okay. Um, so I read the line, you waited for this moment, overcome with desperation. We didn't read the annotation for it, so I just want to get that in there real quick. Drake and Kendrick Lamar have engaged in a feud for over a decade, exchanging subtle disses. The tension peaked when Kendrick Lamar featured on Future and Metro Boomin's track like that, with lyrics thrown at Drake. Yeah, huh, yeah, get up with me, fuck sneak diss in a first person shooter. I hope they came with three switches. So again, and somebody asked in my comment if first person shooter, if I'm going to react to first person shooter as that's the song, that I guess kind of triggered this whole thing. Drake is insinuating that Kendrick Lamar is currently desperate to put out anything he can to discredit him, as he's already dropped multiple tracks back to back. Um, Drake goes on to say, "We plotted for a week and then fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you're not concerned with investigation." This whole part is highlighted, so I guess I'm going to read the whole part, then read the giant context to it because it's a lot. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. You got to learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you used, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove, and the drug he used is for less inflation. Master manipulator, you bit on the speculation. You dumb and reactive brother. I'm petty with dedication. Okay, so let me just take a sip of water real quick. So, Kendrick Lamar's um, May 2024 diss track, Meet the Grams, saw him seemingly expose the fact that Drake has an abandoned 11-year-old daughter. "Quote unquote, dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father's not active inside your world. Should be teaching you timetables or watching Frozen with you, or at your 11th birthday singing poems with you." The original cover art for the track displayed a hodgepodge of items allegedly stolen from Dennis Graham, Drake's father. Included in the cover art was the medical drug Ozempic, which helps with weight loss or lessening inflation, and a black glove with a Maybach logo on it. Let me just drag this over here to see. Okay. Um, Sorry, where were we? Where were we? So stolen from Drake's father. Included on the cover art was the medical drug Ozempic. Yes, helps with weight loss or less inflation, and a black glove with a Maybach logo on it. Kendrick mentioned the drug by name on Meet the Grams. Don't cut them corners like your daddy did. Fuck what Ozempic did. However, Drake claims he intentionally leaked this false information to Lamar to make a fool out of him. It should be noted that Drake's immediate reaction to Meet the Grams was shown on Instagram story where he wrote, "Nah, hold on. Can someone find my hidden daughter, please, and send her to me? These guys are in shambles." And then triple, laughing face emoji, all like this. Drake would double down on the denial moments later, according to his affiliate, DJ Academics, who claimed that Drake told him this. If you or anybody can find proof that I have an 11-year-old daughter, I'll quit rapping and come work for you. Now revealing his plan, Drake proudly wears the title of Master Manipulator, an insult Kendrick levied at him on April 2024's Euphoria. Know you a master manipulator and habitual liar too. Um, yes, that is the entire context, that huge part. Okay, going on, we're gonna go into this next little chunk of the verse.
What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave free and not Mr. Morale? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months, the distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. Speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some disdirect shit, you rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit. My mom came over today and I was like, mother, I.
Okay, hold on. Before I let him get into that next part, because I think the verse is going to um the verses. I just want to make these sections a little bit smaller. So, what about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Whitney being Drake's wife, I believe. Yes, Whitney Alford. Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? So again, the based on what I've learned in the other songs, that's pretty self-explanatory. Dave Free being a friend of Kendrick, and why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? As in, why is she not following Kendrick? So let's get into it. Let's see what the context says a little bit more, so we can be specific and clear with it. This is a follow up from Family Matters, proposed in 2015, but don't want to make her your actual wife. This is a quote. I'm guessing this wedding ain't happening right. I heard that one of them little kids might be Dave Free. These rumors include Kendrick's fiance, Whitney Alford, and Dave Free, Kendrick's longtime collaborator and right hand man. Drake alleges several times in that track that one of Kendrick's kids is actually Free's. As Drake says, Alfred is not following Kendrick on Instagram and never has, while she is following Dave Free. Well, that's odd. Kendrick warned Drake not to bring up his family on Euphoria, and it has been thought that the release of Meet the Grams and Not Like Us were a direct response to when he did. Don't speak on the family, Crody. It can get deep in the family, Crody. Talk about me and my family, Crody. Someone gonna bleed in your family, Crody. I forget what Crody's supposed to mean. Even so, Drake is questioning why neither Kendrick or Whitney are rebutting or addressing these claims. Kendrick does not dispute the issue on any of the above tracks. Um, okay. And then Drake goes into the line, "My mom came over today and I was like, Mother, I." And he goes on,
Mother, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. Fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with is so excessive.
okay. Um, so my mom came over today and I was like, Mother, I, Mother, wait a second. That's the one record where you say you got molested. Fuck me. I just made the whole connection. This is about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This is when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with, it's so excessive. So, um, Drake references "Mother I Sober," which is a song by Kendrick Lamar, the 17th track of Lamar's 2022 release, "Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers." 17 songs, holy cow! Where he delves into his sexual traumas. Family ties, they accused my cousin. Did he touch you, Kendrick? Never lied, but no one believed me when I said he didn't. As that quote implies, it should be noted that Kendrick makes it explicitly clear in the song that he wasn't molested. Regardless, Drake figures that Lamar is projecting this trauma when he accuses Drake of being a pedophile in his May 2024 diss tracks Meet the Rams and Not Like Us. On the latter, he straight up says, certified lover boy, certified pedophiles. Drake refusing to stay sober may be him implying that the track was so boring that he can't remember the title, or subtly playing into Lamar's allegations that Drake is a drug addict. On the aforementioned Meet the Grams, Kendrick rapped, "You got gambling problems, drinking problems, pill popping, and spending problems." Um, uh, Here we go into the next bit.
Acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't wanna dish you anymore. This really got me second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting. I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why this the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly, there's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed, and now they got infected.
Okay. Um, they acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't want to diss you anymore. This really got me second guessing. So Drake asserts that he isn't jarred by the accusations Kendrick has made against him in Not Like Us. Rather, he feeds into the narrative that Kendrick was molested as a youngster, which is introduced and denied on Kendrick's track "Mother I Sober." Um, so that's that same quote we just read. Family ties. They accused my cousin. Did he touch you, Kendrick? Never lied, but no one believed me when I said he didn't. Even though Kendrick explicitly states that he wasn't molested, Drake isn't buying it. Here he implies that Kendrick has some skeletons in his closet that compromise his judgment. Disingenuously, he expresses empathy towards Lamar, deciding that he has already suffered enough trauma to the point that Drake is second guessing whether he should diss him again. Um, and I think it just he's trying to downplay the credibility of Kendrick's lyrics or Kendrick's attack on him by saying like it's just kind of a desperate, a desperate kind of thing that Kendrick Lamar is doing to, I guess, um, as a reflection of like again uh, the accusation that he got touched as a kid, which I- I'm like obviously not a um, obviously not a funny topic. There's so many accusations and allegations and this and that in these songs, and um, I just don't even know what to say after a while. You just gotta like I just shake my head. And I'm like, man, wow, where are we even going with this, right? So, "Touch My Body" by Mariah Carey play. You probably start reflecting. Reference to Mariah Carey's number one hit, "Touch My Body." Kendrick's song "Mother I Sober" details his mother's experience with sexual abuse and affects this trauma can have on a whole bloodline and the black community at whole. Drake is therefore saying that Touch My Body triggers Kendrick's indirect trauma of sexual abuse and is likely to start reminiscing as he did on Mother I Sober. I never been with no one underage, but now I can understand why this is the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested. A lot of people in the comments under Drake's video were saying like this is the, you know, if I'm a liar, why are my pants on fire type response or something like that. And I just want to read the annotation before I have any word on it or whatever. Drake puts his guard up and denies Kendrick's allegations of him being a pedophile and continues his claims that Kendrick Lamar was molested as a child and therefore obsessed seeing how eager Kendrick is. Sorry. And denies Kendrick's allegations of him being a pedophile and continues his claims that Kendrick Lamar was molested as a child and therefore obsessed seeing how eager Kendrick is trying to push the allegations onto Drake with the songs Meet the Grams and Not Like Us. Drake then explains he feels he is too popular and famous to mess around with underage girls as he has a lot to lose in such a foolish situation. In any situation, it's stupid. It's just stupid. Just don't do that. Don't mess around with underage anybody. It's just don't do that. Despite several known celebrities such as Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Roman Polanski, and most recently P. Diddy, being referred to as sexual offenders with multiple accusations, each of sex trafficking and sexual assault. So yeah, it's a weird. The lines themselves are just weird, or maybe not as impactful as Drake thinks they are. And going on, um, but that's not the lesson. Clearly, there's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed, and now they got infected. So, uh, these last two lines here, Drake attempts to change the subject matter from addressing the allegations being made by people and his opponent to aggressively chipping away at Kendrick's armor. Both sides have vulnerabilities and rumor that the other is trying to infiltrate and pick apart, of course. Deep cuts that never healed, and now they got infected. Drake continues to reference themes from Kendrick's album Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Earlier, he misquoted the message of Mother I Sober, saying, "That's one record where you say you got molested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly, there is a deeper message." Drake asserts that the lesson is not his innocence or stance on sexual assault and the allegations being made, but rather the challenges and rumors in Kendrick's life that makes him a worse person than Drake. The following points that Drake makes are not backed by evidence and have several flaws. Uh, and then we're going to play this next little section of the verse.
Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant, talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how to ease the sentiment, the shit's too intimate. I'm praying you recover from both incidents, but you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list. Easy does it. You mentioned an A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I never look twice at no teenager.
Okay. Um, so these are the next lines it was talking about. Like if Dave Free really fucked your girl and got her pregnant, talk about breeding resentment. I'm not sure how to ease the sentiment. This shit is too intimate. Um, I'm praying you recover from both incidents. Drake again references Dave Free, Kendrick Lamar's manager and childhood friend, allegedly sleeping with Whitney, Kendrick's fiance. Sorry, not wife. I said wife earlier in the video. But fiance. And being the biological father to one of his children. Drake previously discussed this on Family Matters. I heard that one of them kids might be Dave Free. Drake plays on the homonym breeding, insinuating that when Dave Free bred impregnated Whitney, this bred, quote unquote, or in brackets, created resentment inside Kendrick, potentially for Whitney, Dave, and even his own son. As Drake states, if true, this is an extremely intimate subject for Drake. Suffering infidelity can cause post traumatic stress, particularly if the betrayal was executed by one of your closest friends, and especially if they are the biological father of your child. This further plays into Drake's counter narrative that Kendrick continuously accuses him of being a pedophile as a projection of Kendrick's own sexual trauma. Drake discusses this in more detail earlier in this track with the mother I, mother line that we had just gone over. Um, Drake was on to say, but you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you're gonna see, that you're gonna, or that you go and see on no sex offender list. Easy dash does it, and it's spelled EAZY hyphen DUZ hyphen IT. Yes, Z, I'm Canadian. You mentioning A minor, but brothers gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. So, but you a piece of shit. But you a piece of shit, so this really no coincidence. This bar concludes the two claims Drake threw Lamar's way. He first claimed that Kendrick got molested by his cousin when he was young, referencing Kendrick's Mother I Sober, a track of Lamar's release, Mr. Morale and Big Steppers, where he takes its listeners on a journey through his experiences with personal traumas and sexuality. Um, Once again, family ties, they accused my cousin. Did he touch you? Kendrick never lied, but no one believed me when I say he didn't. The second claim was regarding the faithfulness of Kendrick's fiance, which he questions on this very song once again. Like if Dave Free really fucked your girl and got her pregnant, talk about breeding resentment. Drake is basically saying that Kendrick is a piece of shit and had it coming and deserved it in a sense. Drake is not a name you gonna see on no sex offender list. Easy dash does dash it, right? Drake is very explicitly saying that he is not a sex offender, despite what other people may believe. He follows up using the phrase "Easy does it," which is a reference to Easy E's song "Easy Does It," which was originally used as a sample for the song "Like That." Really? He is saying that you will not see. I enjoy some Easy E. Are you telling me if I go listen to the song Easy Does It, I'm gonna hear Like That? Because I think Like That. We're talking about the Future and Metro Boomin song, because that song is the song itself is I mean you can go back and watch my opinion. I literally said it's terrible. Like I literally think it's terrible, terrible. If you like mumble rap and like that mumbly Percocet vibe, sure, great, wonderful, awesome. But the song itself is terrible. So I don't know what they did to it, but I gotta go hear Easy Does It now. Because like, excuse me. Um, Going on, I even have a shirt that says "Cause I'm the E" on it. I'm literally wearing it under this. I'm wearing. Maybe I'll show it to you guys at the end of the video. Like I'm literally wearing my shirt because I'm the E. Da-da-da. Anyways, I know it's not for Easy E. It's a different sample by um Oh, I'm thinking of. Am I thinking of G Easy? Oh my god, why these guys gotta got the same name, bro? WTF? Um, are you really telling me though? Easy E song, Easy Does It is used as. I'm like tripping now. I'm like, huh? I gotta hear it, man. Okay, so he is saying that you will not. Drake is saying that you will not see his name on a sex offender list, but you will, however, see Eric Wright, aka Easy W, on the FBI.gov sex offender list. Hence the phrase "Easy Does It." Got you. You mentioned an A minor, but brother's got to be sharp and tell the fans who was it. Drake gives a response to a play on words line that Kendrick made in Not Like Us, meant to accuse Drake of being inappropriate with underage girls. Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. It shows a literal little diagram of how you do an A minor chord on a guitar, which I do play guitar, but I'm not going to bust out my guitar and play it for you. If I should cut in a scene here where I play it for you. Anyways, Drake rebuts the diss by asking Kendrick to be sharp and show proof of any wrongdoings. There is no B sharp note in the chromatic scale, nor is there a B sharp chord in written music. It is standard practice to refer to B sharp as just C. Though in some special cases you may say B sharp, this is due to enharmonic equivalence when two notes are the same but written differently. It should also be noted that Drake plays the notes for the chords he mentions on a piano in the background. However, when he says A minor, he actually plays a G sharp, which is either a mistake or a direct rebuttal to the A minor quote above because he doesn't strike it. Got you. Um, I think we went to okay. You thought you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with a razor and do Rick Ross air like that on one flight from Malaysia. D here refers to Drake himself. Drake earlier used D on Family Matters to refer to himself in third person. You write about me. Fuck the big three. It's only Big D in this video. But yeah. Drake is alluding to the fact that the general perception after Meet the Grams and Not Like Us, released not even 24 hours apart, was that he conceded a big defeat. Drake is clear he isn't wavering yet and will reign supreme despite the general perception. D major is a triple entendre. Drake is continuing his use of pitch scale wordplay in retaliation to Kendrick's A minor line on Not Like Us. Drake recites the line to sound like he is also saying D major, claiming that Kendrick's success is thanks to what Drake has done for him. In February of 2012, Drake invited Kendrick to open on the Club Paradise tour when he was on the come up. This helped Kendrick garner attention during the early phase of his career. Drake could also be talking about his people thinking uh, his D is flaccid. Why do in response to diss tracks, but it's actually erect, as he said in Family Matters. Listen, I haven't even seen that picture. I don't want to see the video or picture. I don't want to. I like ignored Twitter so hard and social media like that entire week. I was like, no, I'm not. We're not. I'm not gonna. We're not doing this. I'm not doing this. You're right about me. Fuck the big D. It's only big D in this video. It quotes that line again. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross air, not hair, but air, like that one flight from Malaysia. Malaysia Air, the one that crashed. The disrespect to those people. Um, okay. The annotation says Drake directly threatens to murder Rick Ross, whose plane emergency crash landed on May 3rd, 2024. Ross jokingly blamed Drake for the incident when he tweeted, "My jet just crashed. Drake OVO F-16 fighter jet just shot us down." He hashtags Rick Ross Car Show June 1st, BBL Drizzy Champagne Moments. Um, Drake refers to Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 and its internationally covered disappearance. The plane departed from Malaysia on March 8th, 2014, before vanishing above the Indian Ocean. Drake plays on the name of Rick Ross's private jet as cutting open his throat would cut off his oxygen. So violent. Um, I'm your baby mama screensaver, only fucking with Whitney's, as in Whitney Alford, Drake's fiance, not wife. Not Millie Bobby Brown. I'd never look twice at no teenager. I literally thought that Millie Bobby Brown was that annoying blonde girl that does the interviews. I actually don't know who she is. So, yeah, sorry. Drake joked that he can't possibly be a pedophile Lamar alleges since he's only sexually interested in Lamar's fiancee when he offered, as opposed to actress Millie Bobby Brown. Oh, she's an actress. I don't really watch many shows or TVs. I don't know who anybody is honestly anymore. Drake came under fire for his controversially close relationship with the actress in 2018 when she said this about Drake in an Emmy Awards interview. I love him. I met him in Australia and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. We just texted the other day and he was like, "I miss you so much." And I was like, I miss you more." He gives me advice about boys. He helps me. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him. The advice stays in the text messages. Brown was 14 at the time of the interview, prompting many to accuse Drake of grooming her. Drake laughed off these allegations on his Another Late Night from his 2023 release For All the Dogs. Weirdos in my comments talking about some Millie Bobby Brown. Look, bring them jokes up to the gang. We get to really flocking. It should be noted that a controversial video of Drake kissing and caressing a 17-year-old girl on stage during a May 2010 concert muddies the validity of this claim that he never looks twice at a teenager. When the attendee revealed her age, Drake said, "I can't go to jail yet, man. You're 17. Why do you look like that? You thick. Look at all this. I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I like the way your breasts feel against my chest." Okay. We're going to let the next part play.
I'm a fucking hit maker, dog, not a peacemaker. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass in extreme danger. Stop buying views and buy comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later. I give a fuck about your streaming data. You could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. I don't wanna fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. If you still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you.
Okay. I'll let the last part, we'll go back and play the last little part again. We're over halfway through the song. Actually, I didn't think we're that way through the song, but anyways, I'm a fucking hitmaker, dog, not a peacemaker. Drake calls back to his claim on push ups. I'm the hitmaker y'all depend on. However, this time Drake is taking advantage of the homophone and referring to calling hits on people, making it clear that the beef is elevated into something serious. It wouldn't be the first time that Drake has alluded to contract killing with street lingo. Contract killing? Drop a 50 bag for the mob in the spot. Drop a 50 bag, 29 for the thought. I was really trying to keep it PG. Drake, that's Drake's line on push ups. It's worth noting that Kendrick directly wished death upon Drake on Meet the Grams. Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think brothers like him should die. Him and Weinstein or whatever should get fucked up in a cell. Oh, where did that line go? Should get fucked up in a cell for the rest of their life. Fuck rap battle. He should die so all of these women can live with a purpose. This might also be a response to Lamar's verse on Euphoria. I make music that electrify him. You make music that pacify him. Going on in the verse, yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber, yo ass in extreme danger. The bullets may be the ammunition of additional tracks that include more disparaging information aimed at Kendrick, putting his reputation in danger. Stop buying views and bot comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later. I don't give a fuck about your streaming data. Drake is insinuating that Kendrick and his camp are cheating their way to victory by buying viewership and deploying bot accounts. It's no secret that Kendrick's earlier diss tracks gained substantially more views and recognition by the masses. For example, on video streaming platform YouTube, Kendrick's Not Like Us reached 12.3 million views in just under 13 hours, while Drake's Family Matters reached 11.5 million views in approximately 33.5 hours. The botting allegation has been mutual on 616 in LA. Lamar claimed that Drake utilized paid engagement to promote his tracks. You're playing nerdy with Zach BIA and Twitter bots. Um, accusations, I can't even talk anymore, of Drake utilizing paid botting stem all the way back to the release of his 2016 album Views, which performed with absurdly high record breaking numbers. He says you may as well keep the paper shit you about to need for later. I don't give a fuck about your streaming data. Drake calls out other artists or individuals who artificially inflate is he's calling out other artists or individuals who artificially inflate their popularity online by purchasing views and bot comments on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and I'm not going to say it because it's called Twitter. Drake suggests that instead of wasting money on fake engagement, they might as well keep their money um, or the paper for future needs. Drake then dismisses the significance of their streaming data. In, I don't know why my brain wants to say it both ways, indicating that he's not impressed by their supposed success achieved through artificial means. You drop 100 more records, I'll see you later. Drake implies that no matter how many more tracks Kendrick drops, it won't make him feel any bit of concern or threat. On Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar says that there is even more to the situation about Drake than what he's revealed, confirming that there are more tracks that he will drop. Rabbit hole is still deep. I can go further, I promise. Um, Drake goes on to say, yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. Meeting one's maker is often used as a euphemism for dying and getting killed, thus meeting one's God or creator of life. This would tie back to Drake's previous line, I'm a fucking hitmaker dog, not a peacemaker, which suggests that a few possible things. Drake believes he is the reason why Kendrick is relevant, i.e., he's the maker of Kendrick's success, so Kendrick will have to keep meeting him to keep that success and relevancy, i.e., make Drake the topic of his music. Two, because of the previous lines being about user engagement and streaming revenue, Drake may be suggesting that Kendrick does not have many real non-bot fans, and Kendrick can only make the same amount of money as him once he passes away. It's common for artists to gain a lot of new listeners, sales, and post mortem releases following their deaths. One notable example is the musician Prince, who Kendrick has likened himself to in previous songs. Three, Kendrick suggests that the beef will be lifelong and Kendrick won't encounter Drake until the afterlife, at which time peace will be made. I don't want to fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. If you still bump an R. Kelly, you could thank the Savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. Um, okay. This links back to Drake's previous diss track, Family Matters, where he alleged that Kendrick abused his fiance. They hired a crisis management team to clean up the fact that you beat on your queen. Drake implies that by beefing with Kendrick, he is feeding his supposed aggressive nature, which would increase the likelihood of that person taking out their anger in the form of assault or, as Drake alleges, domestic abuse. If you're still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the Savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music going to a hypocrite. So I guess he's saying that Kendrick said that. The annotation is a bit long for this one, like holy crap long. Okay, it's only 2 lines, guys. Drake references Spotify's launch of its hate content, hate content, and hateful conduct policy in 2018. This policy stated that the platform may remove hateful music and that when an artist or creator does something that is especially harmful or hateful, it may affect the ways they work or worked with or support or supported that artist or creator. The policy's implementation led to multiple artists being removed from playlists, with the most notable examples being XXX Temptation, and R. Kelly. At the time, the latter was a known child pornographer and faced further allegations of abuse, which were explored in depth for the 2019 documentary series Surviving R. Kelly. The series and subsequent legal proceedings revealed that Kelly was responsible for multiple instances of sexual abuse and sex trafficking. The policy was met with significant criticism from fans and the music community, leading Spotify to retract it within a month. Top Dog, the CEO of Kendrick's then label Top Dog Entertainment, was among the vocal critics. In a Billboard interview, Top recounted, quote unquote, I had a conversation with Spotify and I expressed that I don't think it's right for artists to be censored, especially in our culture. How they how come they didn't pick out any other artists from any other genres or cultures? There are so many other artists with different things going on, and they could have picked anybody. But it seems to me that they're constantly picking on hip hop culture. My whole thing with them was we got to fix the situation, and if it can't be fixed, then there's gonna be a real problem. We're gonna have to start pulling our music from the site. Following this interview, many publications misreported that Top spoke as Kendrick's representative and not as TDE's CEO. Years before, in 2015, Kendrick clarified that Top Dog's opinions were personal and not representative of his views. Drake recirculates this misconception to his benefit to address Kendrick's allegations on in his 2024 disses, where Kendrick called Drake a sexual predator. Drake argues that Kendrick's criticism is hypocritical if Kendrick has supported another alleged sexual predator. Drake may also be referencing Kendrick's 2015 track, The Blacker the Berry, where he repeatedly labeled himself a hypocrite. Drake also references Kendrick's 2022 Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers track Savior to imply Kendrick hails himself as a savior, although Kendrick's lyrics in the song reject that notion. While this could be perceived as Drake misrepresenting Kendrick's lyrics again, the context suggests otherwise, that this track is Drake's response to Kendrick's Meet the Grams, which saw him claim he made uh, I'm like MMTBS, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, to help future generations cope. This sentiment appears at odds with the album's narrative, where he sheds his savior complex. Holy crap, that's a lot of words, man. Oh, it's not done. It is noteworthy that Kelly has writing credits on multiple Drake songs, including 2010's Unforgettable, 2017's Since Way Back, and 2021's TSU. The former is due to Drake sampling Aaliyah, whom Drake has long been obsessed with. Kelly notably wrote a considerable amount of her music and engaged in an unethical relationship with her, which included them getting married when she and he were 15 and 27, respectively. All this said, Kendrick has not been unequivocally anti-abuser. In 2017, Kendrick promoted the music of Triple X Temptation, who admitted to being a domestic abuser and had numerous troubling abuse allegations on his previously mentioned 2022 album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Kendrick referenced R. Kelly twice, discussing the separation of art from artist and empathetically raising questions about childhood trauma and the cyclical nature of abuse. I think a small quote here. I think about Robert Kelly. If he weren't molested, I wonder if life failed him. That's the end of the quote. Additionally, rapper Kodak Black, who was controversially interwoven into Kendrick's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, has consistently demonstrated misogynistic viewpoints during his career and has faced legal issues related to his sexual misconduct. Kendrick explored the complexity of abuse and how it can shape the behavior of figures like Kodak in Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers uh, song, Mother I Sober. Quote, every other brother has been compromised. I know the secrets. Every other rapper is sexually abused. I see him daily bearing the pain in chains and tattoos. So listen close before you start to pass judgment on how we move. Learn how we cope. Whenever his uncle had to walk him from school, his anger grows deep in misogyny. So I think this is the last part of this verse.
Music and your music is going to
Hold on,
R.
let's go back.
Kelly, you could thank the savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you sent him commissary when he needs some paper. Album dropping soon, no wonder you turn a clout chaser instead of doing hard labor. Nigga, I see you when I see you like Fantasia. Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor. And when I say I hit your back, it's a lot safer. I promise.
Okay, it's gonna go into the spoken outro. So these last couple lines, we did read the context for the first couple lines. If you still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the Savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. We just read that whole context, which was huge. Uh, Continuing on, I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you send him commissary when he needs some paper. Album dropping soon. No wonder you turn to a clout chaser instead of doing hard labor. Uh, Commissary or commissary in this case is a store or restaurant that sells food or personal supplies to imprisoned persons. It also refers to the currency used in exchange for these goods. Drake entertains the likelihood that Kendrick would put money on R. Kelly's books in order for him to spend it in a commissary. Commissary? Got you. Album dropping soon. No wonder you turn into a clothes tracer instead of doing hard labor. There have been rumors circulating that Kendrick Lamar is planning to drop an album in 2024. Drake claims Kendrick only engaged in this beef as a publicity stunt to promote his new album. Kendrick did instigate this beef back in March 2024. Unlike that, taking shots at Drake and J. Cole. Motherfuck the big three, brother. It's just big me, brother. Bum, bum. Brother, I'll see you when I see you, like Fantasia. Drake references American R&B singer and actress Fantasia Barrino's 2007 song "When I See You." I don't even know who that is. And Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor. When I say hit you back, it's a lot safer. How I promise. Once again, he's hitting out at Kendrick's alleged domestic violence. But anyways, annotation says Whitney Alford is Kendrick Lamar's fiance. Judging by Drake's tone and how personal this battle has become, this favor likely has sexual connotations and could be viewed as an opportunity for Whitney to get revenge for the alleged domestic abuse from Kendrick. Drake plays on two homonyms of hit. One describes physical abuse, and the other is slang for sending some sort of message. Drake insinuates that Kendrick tends to enact the former, while Drake only intends to use the latter if Whitney chooses to accept his offer. Drake claims that Kendrick domestically abused Whitney on his previous diss track Family Matters. When you put your hands on your girl as a self defense because she's bigger than you, they hired a crisis management team to clean up the fact that you beat on your queen. Drake also implies that if he has sex with Whitney, he will wear protection. Unlike Dave Free, Drake alleges that Dave, Kendrick's manager and childhood friend, fathered one of her children both on his track, as well as the aforementioned To Family Matters. Quote, I heard one of them little kids might be Dave Free. Don't make it Dave Freeze, because if your GM is your BM secret BD, then this all making plenty fucking sense to me. Shake that ass for Drake. Now shake that ass for free. Okay. And now we're going into the spoken outro section.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this shit was some good exercise. Like, it's good to get out, get the pen working. You would be a worthy competitor if I was really a predator and you weren't fucking lying to every blogger and editor, but it is what it is.
Okay, that's the first section. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this shit was some good exercise. Like it's good to get out, get the pen working. One of the most ironic parts about this beef between this is the annotation about this beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar is that Drake was planning on taking a significant break from music, as he revealed on the third episode of his Sirius XM radio show Table for One, in the minutes before the release of For All the Dogs in October. After Kendrick started the beef with his verse on Like That, Drake has now become involved in a career defining rap beef against one of his biggest competitors that will largely affect his legacy when his career comes to a close. Drake also mentions this beef is good exercise. Notably, he didn't deny any of the claims Kendrick made about his abs being fake on Euphoria. On this track, so this may be a tongue in cheek resignation on his part. Um, Yeah, my first one, like my last one, it's a classic. You don't have one. Let your core audience stomach that, then tell them where you got your abs from. This is something that Kendrick said. You would be a worthy competitor if I was really a predator and you weren't fucking lying to every blogger and editor, but it is what it is. Drake was accused of having connections with younger women, as stated by Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. Say, Drake, I hear you like him young. That's a quoted line. Back in 2018, there was a lot of discussion about Drake and actress Millie Bobby Brown's friendship. Again, it just it says she was just 14 at the time. He met Drake at his concert in Brisbane and posted about it on Instagram, calling him fantastic and a great friend. Their close bond raised questions with some of the appropriateness of the relationship given Drake's way older age and reputation. Also, back in 2010, there was a video circulating around where Drake started kissing a 17-year-old girl in one of his concerts after finding out about her age. She said, and we read that quote earlier. Um, so next little section.
You definitely got this shit burnt the fuck out though. Like, you got 10 more records to drop. The one before the last one, we finessed you into telling a story that doesn't even exist. And then you go and drop the West Coast one and try and cover that up. I would like that one. That would be some shit I could dance to if you wasn't tripling down on some whole other bullshit, but
Okay. You definitely got the shit burnt the fuck out though. Like you got 10 more records to drop. The one before the last one, we finessed you into telling a story that doesn't even exist, and then you go and drop the West Coast one and try to cover that shit up. I would like that one. That would be some shit I could dance to if you wasn't tripling down on some whole other bullshit. But in Kendrick's diss, Not Like Us, Kendrick raps, how many stocks do I really have in stock? A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5, A. Drake replies by saying he doesn't care, as nothing Kendrick says is true, and that the OVO rat was actually working with Drake to feed Kendrick misinformation. Drake claims Kendrick dropped Not Like Us to hide the mistake he made with claiming Drake had a hidden daughter on his track, Meet the Grams. And then the last little bit, I would like that one. That would be some shit I could dance to if he wasn't tripling down some whole other bullshit. So fans praised Kendrick's most recent diss, Not Like Us, released a day prior to his track, for being more danceable than the previous disses Kendrick directed towards Drake. Um, Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr., also shared this sentiment, garnering 87,000 likes at the time of his writing. Kendrick just dropped a dance song for you dancing brothers. A statement about tripling down refers to Kendrick releasing 3 diss tracks towards Drake in rapid succession over the previous 2 days: 616 in LA, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us. Drake states that unlike the fans celebrating it, he cannot dance to Kendrick's latest track because of the bullshit, i.e., false accusations, according to Drake on the song. Next.
you know, at least your fans are getting some raps out of you. I'm happy I can motivate you, bring you back to the game, like, you know. but
Okay. This is a bit of a long one. Drake seems to be boasting that he is the reason Kendrick Lamar made a return to mainstream music while also telling Kendrick's fans to thank him for it. This comes after Kendrick's released his 2017 album Damn and went radio silent for the following 5 years. After only producing the soundtrack for the movie Black Panther in 2018, it was thought he was retiring from music. But then in 2021, on a website named Oklama.com, he wrote the following message, which was taken as a retirement speech and new album confirmation by fans. Which was taken as a retirement speech and new album confirmation by fans. How is it a retirement speech and a new album confirmation? What? As I produce my final TDE album, oh, I get it. Yeah, duh. His I, brain. As I produce my final TDE album, I feel joy to have been part of such a cultural imprint after 17 years. The struggles, the success, and most importantly, the brotherhood. May the Most High continue to use Top Dog as a vessel for candid creators as I continue to pursue my life's calling. Following the message, he once again fell silent until 2022 when a fan on Twitter called him out by saying he was officially retired. Kendrick then replied to this tweet with a link to the Oklahoma website, which displayed the upcoming release date for his thought to be final album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. After the album's release, he didn't put out any music of his own, instead opting to do features on songs. This is where the track feature like that comes in. When Kendrick seemingly reignited the beef between him, Drake, and J. Cole. Kendrick has released 4 singles since then, as he and Drake are engaged in a back and forth with diss tracks aimed at one another. And then the last little bit of the song.
just let me know when we're getting to the facts. Everything in my shit is facts. I'm waiting on you to return the favor, like.
Drake claims that Kendrick Lamar's diss tracks in the feud have been full of lies, while Drake's have been nothing but facts. One of Kendrick's most notable allegations was that Drake was hiding an abandoned 11-year-old daughter on diss tracks Meet the Grams. Kendrick rapped, "Dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father not active inside your world. Should be teaching you times tables or watching Frozen with you, or at your 11th birthday party. Sorry, at your 11th birthday, doesn't say party, singing poems with you." However, earlier in this track, Drake claimed he intentionally leaked this false information to Kendrick to make a fool out of him and essentially to waste his time creating a diss track that is predicted on false information, or that is predicated on false information. Those words are too close. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. Another prominent theme in Kendrick's diss tracks was claiming that Drake is a pedophile. For example, on Not Like Us, Kendrick explicitly says, certified lover boy, certified pedophiles. However, earlier in this track, Drake denies these allegations and claims they are simply a projection of Kendrick's description of sexual abuse as heard on Mother I Sober. Some of Drake's most notable disses against Kendrick are that he physically abused his fiancee Whitney and that one of Kendrick's biological fathers, one of his children's biological fathers is actually Dave Free, Kendrick's childhood friend and manager. Drake claims these allegations are true. However, no concrete evidence has been provided for any of these allegations by either sides. And without receipts from either side, this is simply a game of he said, she said. And that's exactly why I don't like a lot of there's a lot of things about rap beefs that are just lame to me. I think that for a certain audience, I think it comes down to like an age thing. Like maybe I'm just getting old, honestly. Maybe I'm just getting old, but I just think that when, like I said in previous reactions to these songs, I want the things that are funny, things that can be factually funny, you know? Like, again, I'll bring up just the typical one because it's just easy to reference and it's easy to understand how maybe like make fun of like Kendrick's height or make fun of like Drake's like lankiness or the fact that he played the character he did in Degrassi. This doesn't mean that we're making fun of all it doesn't mean that like for example we're making fun of just people in wheelchairs period because they said much more disparaging things than that. I think that would be very honestly lighthearted in terms of and way funnier in terms of a diss track rather than like I have shooters, I have shooters, I have more money, I have more money. You did this, you did this. Like, I don't know. The game of he said, she said, I think really appeases a certain subset of people that want to be entertained, but that is such low quality entertainment to me. And so I'm just not, I just, 1,000 mile stare. Like I'm glazed over. I get really bored of it really quickly. And I just want to enjoy the music. I did enjoy this track. I did enjoy the sample with the Aretha Franklin sample. I forget what sample it's. I think it says, I have it here It samples Aretha Franklin's "Prove It," so I'm gonna go and actually listen to that song because, you know, I just like music with a different vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't I don't know, danceable? Da if a song is danceable, that doesn't have to mean it's only for women. If a song makes you wanna move, whether it's like a metal song that makes you wanna headbang or just, like, act like an absolute ape in a field, or it's a rap song that makes you wanna headbang or just, just go wild or break dance or, do b-boy stuff, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Like, songs that get you to bump and groove, uh, like, that's not a negative thing. So, um, there was that one song, I'm not sure, I guess it wasn't Not Like Us, but it was one of Kendrick's songs that I've referenced before that just kinda sounded like, it almost sounded like slam poetry. Kind of, like, it was just kinda like he was talking over a beat that it didn't really mesh at all, to me, and, I've even got comments before, like, some of my comments have, been like, "You don't it seems like you don't enjoy these, like, who do you enjoy in hip hop?" And, like, I left a comment that listed over 20 hip hop artists that I listen to, and I could probably list another 20 more. It took me about, like, maybe, like, 3 minutes to write, 5 minutes to write. Um, I enjoy a ton of hip hop, but I don't enjoy the song where it started. I'm gonna say that, like, just like I said on, um, Not Like Us, uh, Future and Metro Boomin are actually the worst parts of that song. Kendrick is the best part of that song. He carries that song, he is that song, and even though I didn't listen to him growing up and, he's been around for quite a while, uh, I can definitely say he's a skilled rapper. Um, just not quite my vibe. I would say that Drake is also a skilled rapper, just not quite my vibe. I'm not really here to choose one or the other. I'm not really here to, uh, I've got an opinion before that even goes into like, if I was more objective, people would check out my other videos. And yes, I'm kind of calling out that person's comment. And people got to remember, like, the whole point of a reaction, at least a genuine reaction, isn't to appease everybody. It's to be genuine to myself. And so, I try to highlight where I'm making a personal insertion between trying to remain objective and, my personal opinion on some of these topics may not align with other people's personal opinions, but that's where a good conversation and communication comes in. So, if people want to make judgment on my opinions, at least be willing to have a conversation. Otherwise, like your mother said, keep your mouth shut. So, is what it is. Um, I think that this song definitely, did play on, you could say, a bit of a defensive vibe. I don't really think it was defensive. It just played it was to downplay um the the kind of angle that Kendrick Lamar was taking at him. Obviously, since then, Kendrick Lamar hasn't released a track back at Drake, so I guess at this point we can say it's over. And thank goodness because these videos are too damn long. So we're gonna wrap it with that. I would love to know your thoughts on this song and on the entire series now that we've wrapped that up. And as always, if you're liking content like this, if you're liking genuine reactions and you want more content like this, please, as always, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.